Now, why do we even need a credit score? That was.
Because if you look at it
You
from the
said
if you look at the perspective of a company, they don't know your personal history, and personal history itself isn't reliable. What is reliable is hard numbers, right? And if you can look at someone's financial history, because we have two identities, we have our human identity and we have our digital identity. And our digital identity has a blank slate when we turn 18 because there's apps, you're a wild card to these companies. So it's all about showing responsible fiscal spending. And then, eventually if you show that responsibility, they'll be more willing to, one, lower your interest rates to make it more affordable because you are seen as less risk averse. So it's a gamble. Like these companies, especially credit companies, are gambling on people, basically saying, I'm betting that this person will be financially responsible. And that's why your interest rates are all different, because you're with their algorithms or their people, they determine you're either a higher risk or a lower risk.
What about the credit score number?
No, the credit score number itself it's showing that you are able and responsible enough to pay the money back. And so that's how I always looked at building credit, and I think a lot of people misunderstand what it means to build that. Because again, I mean, we get unintentional debt all the time when we have car repairs, where you have medical expenses. Those are unintentional debt, but like intentional debt, I think is a trap for a lot of people too, though, because it's not, credit card money is not as tangible as you would see for like paper money, for instance. So I've seen people in my life who will begin the process of intentional debt and then it spirals out of control to actual debt because they're just buying stuff that they actually don't have the means to pay back.
Now, what's intentional debt? Could you give me sort of a...
I guess intentional debt would be a long-term debt investment. I think that would be the best way to put it as a term. Mm-hmm. And that would be, like I said, you're trying to intentionally pay off something incrementally, not like over time, the same amount.
And what might an item like that be?
Well, a car is a good example of that. Another one would be a house, some sort of that. But I think the biggest thing, most common thing I've seen people do, and I've done myself, is just buying an appliance with a credit card on like somewhere from Walmart or Amazon, and then doing a payment plan with it. Because I think a lot of people don't understand that payment plans are not just for you to afford stuff, it's also to do with interest rates, and that gets all factored into it afterwards as well.
Now, why do we even need a credit score? That's